AITA for refusing to help my dad save his business after he abandoned me growing up, even though my family says I'm holding a grudge over nothing. I'm a 29-year-old guy, and up until a few months ago, my dad was basically a distant relative I happened to share DNA with. He wasn't abusive or violent. He was just gone. And that's the part that always pissed me off more than anything. He was a ghost who only appeared when it was convenient for him. And whenever he did show up, he acted like we had some Disney father-son bond that existed only in his imagination. For context, my parents divorced when I was 7. According to my mom, the marriage had been dead for years. My dad cheated, lied about finances, constantly made empty promises, and had this weird obsession with being seen as the fun, cool guy instead of an actual responsible human being. But even after the divorce, he promised he'd stay involved in my life. You know, weekends, school events, birthdays. He made exactly 2 of those commitments in the next decade. 2. Every other time, he had a new excuse. Work was crazy. His car wouldn't start. He wasn't feeling well. He was out of town. He forgot. Sometimes he didn't even bother saying anything. He just wouldn't show. I'd sit on the curb with a backpack waiting for a man who never intended to come. Mom would try to soften the blow by taking me out for ice cream or distracting me with movies, but it didn't matter. You don't forget that kind of disappointment. When I got older, I stopped caring. Or at least I told myself I did. I built my own life, worked my way through college, got a steady job in IT, and genuinely thought I'd moved on. My dad and I still talked maybe once or twice a year, usually when he'd call drunk and nostalgic, saying things like, "I'm proud of you, son," even though he had no idea what I actually did for work. That was our relationship. Surface level. Pointless. Then, a couple of months ago, everything blew up. My mom calls me one afternoon sounding irritated. She says, "Your father is trying to get in touch with you. Apparently, it's urgent." I tell her I'll call him later. 10 minutes after we hang up, he calls me himself. He starts with small talk, acting overly cheerful, asking about my job, my apartment, my girlfriend, the usual performance. And then he finally gets to the point. His business is failing. For context, he runs a custom furniture shop, something he started after leaving his 3rd wife. But he's terrible with money, worse with planning, and allergic to accountability. Shocking no one, his shop is about to go under. He owes suppliers, rent, and apparently even taxes. And that's where I come in, apparently. He tells me, with this weird mixture of desperation and entitlement, that he needs help. Not even a lot, he insists. Just a little push to get back on my feet. I literally laughed. I thought it was a joke. He wasn't joking. He starts going on about families sticking together and blood helping blood, and says that this is my chance to prove I care about him the way he's always cared about me. I said, word for word, "You didn't care about me. You cared about looking like a dad." That set him off. He starts yelling, blaming my mom for turning me against him, saying I'm being dramatic about the past, that it wasn't that bad, that he wasn't perfect, but he tried, and that I'm being cruel for letting him drown when I'm doing well in life because he worked hard to provide at the beginning. The irony nearly killed me. I told him I wasn't giving him a centavo, not after years of him treating me like a side quest. He hung up on me. I thought that was the end of it, but nope. He went to my relatives, my Lola, my aunts, my uncles, and told them some twisted sob story about how I'm abandoning him in his time of need. Suddenly, I'm getting messages from family members basically calling me ungrateful, cruel, spoiled, heartless. One of my aunts said I was throwing away a father-son bond that people would kill to have, which almost made me laugh because what bond? My Lola cried and begged me to reconsider. My uncle said I'm too old to be holding grudges about childhood. My cousin told me, real men take care of their fathers no matter what. But here's the thing, this isn't a childhood grudge. This is a lifelong pattern of him choosing himself and expecting everyone else to clean up the mess. Every time, without fail. And when I refused to be his human ATM, suddenly I was the villain. He tried guilting me again last week. Told me the business might close, employees might lose jobs, and that it would be on my conscience. I told him his failures are not my responsibility. He said he hopes I never have a son who resents me the way I resent him. That actually stung, because I don't want to become him. So here I am. Half my family thinks I'm the asshole. My dad thinks I'm the reason his business is collapsing. My girlfriend fully supports me. My friends think the audacity is insane. But part of me still wonders if I'm being cold-hearted. So, Reddit. Am I the asshole for refusing to save a man who never acted like my father? Thanks for reading. Tap like and subscribe if you're into wild Reddit drama. Speech Balloon got an opinion? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you would have done.